From the home of American golf, broadcasting from 24 Golf Studios, right here in legendary Pinehurst, North Carolina, this is more than a golf podcast. It's where the love of the game meets the challenges, the stories, the moments that shape who we are. From tour pros to top instructors, to influencers and everyday legends. Get ready for real conversations about golf, life, and everything that lies in between. It's not just about chasing that perfect swing, it's about finding purpose in the pursuit. This is Inside the Swing. I am your host, Jeremy Lee. Are you ready? Let's tee it up. Have you ever tried to prepare for a tournament, thought your game was exactly how you wanted it, but unfortunately when it became tournament time, it just didn't work out the way you thought? Well, that is exactly what happened on the podcast this week. We had an incredible guest all the way from Australia, Mr. Adam Blyth, a former PGA of Australia Asia Tour winner, player of the year. He gave us an incredible conversation about his life, his sacrifice that his dad made, and his time on tour. Unfortunately, we had some audio difficulties, but we were able to get him into the simulator bay here at 24 Golf, and he gave us some really great insight into how he practices, how to hit draws and fades, and we know that you're going to love part one of our conversation with Mr. Adam Blyth. Thank you so much for all your support. Please like and share, and I hope you enjoy. All right. Well, welcome back. We're in the simulator here at 24 Golf Studios, and we're going to take a couple shots and ask you some rapid fire questions, and talk a little bit about your strategy and practice.
Yep.
But super quick, and then we'll get you out of here and get you on the road.
Yeah.
So we appreciate you so much for being here. Talk to me a little bit about, first, I would love to hear your practice thoughts of what you're trying to do when you're trying to improve your game.
Yeah. Well, for me, it's all about rhythm and timing. My game is built around that. And I always speak to amateurs that the takeaway and the backswing is the biggest part. If you get that wrong, it's hard to catch up and get it all right. So I've got a slow backswing, and how that kind of happened was it was a drill I kept doing to get everything in place. But over time, I just hit it so well when I did it.
Yeah.
We just kind of slowly implemented that into my game, and that slow backswing kind of just sets me up, and I'm able to just get through the ball and just kind of let it all go from there. So,
Gotcha. So you're kind of like a Hideki.
Almost, yeah. Hideki's kind of a bit quicker and then pauses, which I love that pause, but that's hard to do.
That is very hard.
It's hard to do, but mine is more the takeaway slow, and then it's the patience at the top. I don't try and hit it because I get a little over. It's just letting it from there. I almost say it's like a band or something. You pull it back, or a bow and arrow. You pull it back and then you just let it go.
Yeah.
And that's once it's here, it's just letting it flow and go. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, if we can take a couple shots, tell us what you're thinking as you're setting up to the ball.
Again, talking about that kind of process for me. So, the shot I want to hit here, I'm just lining up the club, and from there I'm getting really comfortable. Everything's just in place, my game, and when I just take it away slow and have patience in the backswing. And from there I've committed, I've let it go.
Yeah.
And the process is done. So wherever this ball ends up from there, I've done everything possible to hit the best shot I can here. I've done my checklist, and I go and do it again, and I do it again. Like I said, and this isn't for everyone. If I truly understand, you're feeling shots in and you're quiet and you can see that's beautiful. But for me, it just didn't work. Yeah. I was too everywhere. I was like, what happens if I do this? So I had to kind of harness and focus my brain on what I was trying to do.
Right.
And it's not technical. It's just the things that I need to tick off to get it right.
Yeah. So it's pretty important to find what works for you.
Correct.
For the longest time, we all try to make everybody Tiger Woods.
Yeah.
And that's 30 years of practice to get to that.
Yeah.
And then we're like trying to get that immediately.
And everyone's different, right? Yeah. We all have different emotions, and we all have different triggers. And I think the biggest thing, which I've learned with my little 2-year-old boy, if I sit there behind him and I put his hands on there, he's like, Dad, get off, right? He doesn't want it. So I've learned, and how I learned was I copy. I watch and I copy.
Mm-hmm.
So when I'm out there practicing or he's hitting balls, I just kind of slowly just swing a club and he just glances and copies.
Yeah.
So that's his learning process, right? So he doesn't want me to show him a grip or anything. It's just copying. And for now, for him, it's just hand-eye coordination.
Yeah.
Just keep banging that ball and then we'll dial that in over time.
Sure.
Yeah.
Not to rush the process.
Correct.
Yeah. I
And-
love
and-
that.
Yeah, and yes, I know how he should swing it and his grip and the fundamentals, but he's got to find his way and his enjoyment.
Yeah.
Because if I'm always trying to manipulate it and do it this way, and I know this, and he's not going to enjoy it. I just want him to enjoy it.
Yeah, and there's a lot of different philosophies with that because some people think, hey, listen, you just need to teach them the right way the first time,
Yeah.
and then that becomes natural to
Yeah.
them. Or some people say, no, you got to get how they body just naturally swings,
Yeah.
and then kind of tweak it from there.
And that's my philosophy. Because you look at an Arnold Palmer and Tiger Woods, and they're all very different swings. There's
Yeah.
no blueprint that, hey, that works. If there was, well, we might copy it. There's certain positions,
Sure.
but we can get positions in time, right?
Right.
It's now. And what you do when you're very natural is you learn to just hit it straight,
Right.
right? You'll
Yeah.
just figure it out and
Sure.
allowing that imagination.
Love that.
Mm.
Love that. Well, show me what you would do to hit a cut into that pin.
Okay, so very simply, I'm going to line it up just slightly left of the target, my whole body, but
Okay.
my club face will be aiming at the flag.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm open now with my body. I've set everything open, and I'm just going to kind of slide the club past it. But the club face is what's going to do the work for me. So I'll just slow backswing.
Beautiful.
Just kind of slide one in
Just
there.
like that. Get in the hole.
Come on.
Yeah. All right. Perfect.
It's a little.
And you
one.
always see, I assume with a fade, you always see just slightly lower distances, shorter
Yes,
distances.
yeah.
So you
it's
got to account for that.
correct. It'll come up a little shorter, just spinning slider, and then the draw obviously is going to just have that little bit more on it.
Yeah. And so you're just basically doing the opposite thing,
Yep.
the opposite way. You're
Yep.
basically putting your feet where you want to start the ball.
Yep.
And
And
then
depending on
where you
how
want it to
big,
finish.
and I guess that's over time you learn that
Mhm.
feel. It's hard to just go, well, do this and just aim there and do that. But predominantly, I taught my dad how to hit it so he could do it. It's the club just needs to line up at your target, the
Yep.
club face. And then from there, you could be kind of wide open, and then you're really just kind of allowing the club to do the work, club face. And then you're sliding it, the club's going straight at that target now.
Yeah.
But again, it's going to come up a lot shorter.
Because we're actually increasing loft.
Yes,
Yeah.
correct.
So,
More spin,
yeah.
loft, a lot shorter. Where with the opposite, you're going to do exactly the same, but opposite. So there. We're going to just keep the club face lined at the flag. Now lined up way right of the target, drawing it off that back bunker. Slow backswing. That one may just stay out there a little. Bit of movement.
Yep.
Draw was never my forte.
Yeah.
The cut I could always control quite well.
Yeah.
The draw, not as much. But see if we can get one.
That was better.
That was better.
Yeah. And again, with the
Lot
draw, you're going to get a little bit more distance
Yeah.
because we're basically de-lofted.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing. So, I mean, just like little nuances like that, like if we're going to hit a cut, well, guess what? We're not going to hit it 174 like your stock shot.
Yeah.
Because you got to account for that. And so many of us amateurs, well, not an amateur, but so many of the amateurs, that's what they're trying to do. They're wanting to hit a 174 shot, but they want to play a cut, and then they don't account for that, which is amazing.
And you see a lot of them, they'll if it's 170, they want to hit 7-iron, but you can hit 6-iron, you know, if there's a bit of breeze there, but they always just want to hit the full shot, right? Just ease off it, and it's not about egos, just get the club that works into that flag.
Yeah. And so, and that's interesting because you have your stock shot is 174 with your 7-iron.
Yeah.
I think so many of us think, no, it's got to be 170 or 180 or 190 or
That's right.
So I think it's really important. Talk to me a little bit about how you club do you adjust the lies? Do you do anything with your clubs themselves?
Not really. I've been I've got experts to help me do that. And that's the fortunate thing with being, having sponsors and being professional. A lot of guys are right into it and they know everything. I would just spend the time and trust them. And mine is done a lot on the golf course. So the shots, those little fades in, I do a lot of those controlled shots. And then you just get on the range and you'll use the TrackMan and kind of dial that in to understand it. But over time, you just know how far it goes. Like a little bit more, I could hit it out there further to 180, and I can dial it back to 165, you know. So you can kind of have that range that you need. Especially on a course, we're not always on a flat lie, right? So it's going to be, so you need to learn those uphill, downhill, and how it all acts.
I love that. Yeah. And our next investment is they actually have a platform now that will adjust to the lie.
Wow.
So we just basically put it into the ground. And as you know, you're playing the golf courses, you know, if you got an uphill lie or downhill lie, it's the platform is going to adjust.
Crazy.
So I'm super excited about that. Now, I don't know how that's going to work from a radar standpoint. So that's going to be a little tricky. So, you know, before I go and invest that kind of money, you know, to do that. But we want to create the ultimate experience inside. You know, from
this is fantastic
from that standpoint. So, all right, well, we're gonna watch you hit a couple more shots. We're gonna do a little rapid fire.
All righty.
To finish this thing out.
Okay.
So, give me your most memorable shot in competition.
I think I spoke about it earlier, and it was the 10-foot putt, I reckon, to get my Corn Ferry Tours, just because it meant so much. And there was no hiding what it meant, the pressure. My dad was there. I mean, obviously I've hit some really amazing shots, but that was something I'm like, wow, that meant a lot for my career and everything. Just trying to control those nerves and hold that putt.
Yeah. Amazing. That's kind of like all those years of practice.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of us dream of 10-foot putt to win the Masters, which Rory didn't do so well on that. But no, that is amazing. I love that.
Yeah.
All right. Favorite golf course in the world and why?
Pebble Beach. The other, was a week and a half ago now. It lived up to every expectation that I could have ever imagined. I've dreamt about playing there. I got a great day of weather, and I played nice. I shot even par, and I thoroughly enjoyed every moment.
Favorite hole on that golf course? Favorite hole?
Favorite hole, I'd have to say 7 was pretty cool. Just getting there, and I made a little birdie there too.
Lovely.
So that was
What'd
nice.
You hit?
It was 86 meters, and I hit a 58 degree.
Yeah. But sometimes that wind's directly in. You got to hit like a 4-iron. Some of those PGA Tour videos are amazing.
I couldn't believe how short it was. I knew it was short, but it's just there. It's just there. And to think you'd hit a 4 or 5 iron is mind blowing.
Yeah.
How strong that wind must be. But that was 18 as well.
Yeah.
18
iconic.
Was just you've seen history of it. And
did you play it cut?
I was actually got on that tee, and I mean, it meant nothing. I was that nervous, and I crunched a drive at a 4-iron, second shot into the right bunker. And I didn't get up and down. But 5.
Love it. Love it. All right. So, what is one thing that's in your bag? Could be anything that you will never switch out.
Well, in terms of what I've used in the past, well, I'd never take out a putter. But No, I haven't got any real superstitions. I used to be really superstitious.
Yeah.
And my dad said, that's going to hold you right back, right?
Right.
So you got to get rid of these.
Yeah.
And I started getting rid of them. So I have no real attachment to anything like a marker or anything. I used to, but
Yeah.
not anymore. Yeah.
Oh, all right. Awesome. And then give me a piece of advice you'd give to any amateur, whether they're trying to make a US Open or whether they're trying to make their high school squad or whether they're just trying to win their club championship.
Yeah, good question. There's a lot of things. I would say practice with purpose would
Okay.
be the biggest thing, and play a lot. So if you're playing with your buddies, put some pressure on it.
Yeah.
Because if you are trying to go to the US Open qualifying or college, there's pressure that
Yeah.
you're going to have to perform when there's a little bit more on it. And I see guys just play golf and they won't tap in. They'll get gimmies and all that. Like my dad always made me putt everything, mark it, putt everything out.
Yep.
I was never allowed to have a gimme, and if I missed a 1-footer, that I missed it. And every time I played, I scored.
Yep.
And that was because I'm a professional golfer. That's my job, is
Sure.
to learn how to score.
Treat it like a job.
Treat it like a job. So
Yeah.
I hate when I see people having gimmies, like kids, who are trying to become something. It's like there's no gimmies out there.
Right.
Yeah. So that would be play a lot and play with purpose, like there's something on it.
Yeah, I love that. And we did not pre-rehearse that. So it's so interesting that you said that because I do some instructional videos. And at the end of every instructional video, I say, make sure you practice with a purpose.
Right.
So I
There
love
you
it.
go.
I love it. That worked out great.
That's it.
And then final question, your dream foursome.
Okay.
Who's your dream foursome?
I'd say Arnold Palmer. Is this dead or alive?
Dead or
Yeah.
alive,
Yeah.
yep.
So I'd say Arnold Palmer, what stories he would have, and a great human being, I believe. Jack Nicklaus, amazing stories, and the greatest of all time, and Freddie Couples.
Nice.
I'd have to say Freddie, just a legend.
Yes.
Just such a cool guy.
Yes.
So that day would be more than golf. It'd just be listening to stories and my dad caddying.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. Oh, fantastic. Well, let's see you hit one more shot.
Okay.
Flight this one for me. I'd love to see a flighted.
So, okay, let's go a little lower one. We'll hit a little tiny lower cut in there. Try and slide one in there.
Beautiful. Little push.
A little bit more than I wanted.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, we'll give you a reload on that one.
Yeah, let's have one more.
Finish on a good one.
Okay. Got to give it a bit more to get it there, I think.
Yeah, there we go. Little draw, little baby draw.
Yeah.
Great way to finish. Great way to finish.
That's
well,
awesome.
what's most surprising that I'm looking at you is you don't put your handle in front.
No.
You're pretty neutral. On your
Yeah,
handle.
I am. I think when I get there, I'm kind of compressing the ball, but at the start, I don't much. Yeah.
Very, very neutral. See, everybody has a different way of swinging, and you're proof in the pudding that you can make it to the top level just based on the natural swing that feels great to you. What works for you, and I think that's really the purpose of that.
Yeah, it's simple and repeating it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I can't thank you enough for joining Inside the Swing.
Brilliant.
Yeah, no, loved having you and so much. Tell people how they can follow you. Are you still, what you're doing?
Yeah, I'm on Instagram. It's Adam Blyth, pro golfer. And I sometimes, I'm trying to get better with this social media thing and do some golf tours and stuff like that. So that would be the best place to find me, Instagram for now.
Yeah. All right. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, like we always say, it's always important to practice with a purpose. And you can do that right here at 24 Golf, where every single swing, you're going to get all of your numbers and you're going to be able to come here 24 hours a day and just really work on your game. It's a great place to improve.
Incredible facility, and you should be very proud of it.
Well, thank you so much. Well, next week we have Miss Cassie Tully. She is a fantastic artist, and that's actually how we met. She connected us, and we're gonna learn a little bit about painting and the talents of a right brain person.
her stuff is amazing.
It is amazing.
I'm going to listen to that one.
Yeah, no, very, very excited. So, as always, please follow us, Inside the Swing podcast on YouTube. You can catch us on all of the social medias. But until next time, I'm Jeremy Lee. This is Inside the Swing. We'll see you on the tee.
Buddy, that was awesome.
Fantastic.
Well done, mate.
No,
You're
thank
good
you
at this.
so much.